A Coruña. Nice little garden. The garden from San Carlos. Lovely. Quite a few big ships come in here, eh? Every corner you turn, there's a little church. They did tell us that this part of the old part, basically, of where are we? A Coruña is quite worth a visit. So that's what we're doing, and it's not raining. Yeah, it's great. Lots of old buildings. And then this is the typical houses from Galicia, with all the, I guess, the balconies that are enclosed in glass. This is a nice place, isn't it? Nog een kerk. Another church of some sort. This is big. Still in A Coruña. Today is a bit of a better day. That's the marina where we are. An old fort, which is now a museum, and then the industrial harbour, little fishing boats, and then the town. This is a nice promenade, not too many people, of course it's the middle of the week, and it's not quite holidays yet. The glass facades from the Galician architecture. Remarkable.
Every corner has its little gem.
Another part of A Coruña. A bit of a beach. Nice beach actually. Some people are swimming. Not sure what's wrong with them, but they are.
Now we're going to Puerto de Carmen or Camarinas, depending on the weather. It's gonna be a long day, about 7 hours. Lots of windmill, but not many are working. And this is the entrance to Camarinas.
Normally we would be very uncomfortable if we were sailing at an angle like this, but we're actually not sailing. We parked the boat after a long day and ran into trouble. We are aground and the boat is sort of not happy, a bit at an angle. We now have to wait. It's sort of like, it's not very good because that's the horizon and we sort of like that almost. So now we have to wait for the tide to come up, another hour or two, and then we should be able to float this thing. We didn't hit it hard, so, and the wind is dropped because it was blowing 27 knots when we got here. Anyway, it's all part of the experience, I guess. We're just waiting. We cooked dinner, but it's leaning a bit too much to actually have dinner. So I'll keep you posted. Well, here we are after our ordeal of last night. It's nice and sunny, but very, very windy. So this is Camarinas. It's so windy that we can't even go ashore because, sorry for the noise, our dinghy would struggle because we have to come all the way back in the wind. But it's nice. There's a few boats, quite a few left even though it's very windy. Anyway, we're gonna be here for at least today, possibly even tomorrow, because same weather tomorrow. And our next trip is past Cap Finisterre. You don't want to have too much wind when you do that. And what I forgot to mention yesterday is that once we ran aground, the boat tilted, I reckon probably 35, 40 degrees. We could almost walk on the side. I could have actually painted the underside on one side if I wanted to, but we better didn't. But we were up until, well, I think we went to bed at 2:30 in the morning. We had to basically wait until the tide came up again so the boat got to float. The problem was actually that the anchor got stuck straight away, and so when we tried to get it out, the boat didn't want to move, and so the tide came lower and lower and lower, and we ended up on the ground. But no damage done, I think. We got it to float, eventually got rid of the anchor, well, got the anchor back out, moved 100 meters to the side, dropped the anchor, had a glass of wine, and went to bed. So here we are, ready for the next adventure, or the next drama. Probably not. Yvette's just there looking at me thinking, crazy man, what do you make me do? Once again, it's not a very clear day and not a lot of wind, but this is basically Cabo Finisterre. This is the most western end of the north of Spain, and yeah, this is another, they call this the coast of the dead because back in the olden days ships tended to not make it, and we have one boat that's sort of following us a bit. It's a bit grey, it's not very warm, but it's okay.
So this is the lighthouse, and this is better steering.
It's wind again. We had 22 knots just then of wind, but now it's dropped down to
Nothing.
18.
Quick behind that headland so we don't have that wind.
Yeah. Well, we have the wind, but we won't have the waves, so it's going to be easier to get the sail down, the head sail. Because the head sail is not on a furlong, so I have to go forward to bring it down. So we need to get at an angle so I can put the pilot on and let the boat steer itself.
Oh, I don't want to know all that. Okay, I better get ready then.
Nothing better than a beer after a long sail, and this is Fisterra. So behind that headland over there is Cabo Finisterre. So we've tucked in behind the ocean in this huge bay, and we parked the boat for the night. At least this time we didn't park it on a rock, so we should be okay. And that's how quickly the weather changes. Yesterday last night we were anchored over there because this pontoon was full. But guess what? This morning everybody left. So we're parking here. It's easier to get on and off the boat, and we can go for a wander in that cute little town and go to the lighthouse. We're gonna stay here until tomorrow because we need shopping. We have not much food left. And it's Sunday, so all the supermarkets are closed. Lovely little area. Oula.
Go through that.
Yeah, easy. Look.
Easy.
Yeah. Come on. We're going on our way to the Faro. And this is an old building, but it looks like it's a museum, the one we're walking past. Let's go and have a look. Some nice flowers. Whoopsie. I almost fell. Fishing museum. €2 to get in. That's nice. Yesterday when we came in here, we had gusts up to 23 knots. Like really very wild. And now look at it, it's a pond. This whole Atlantic coast is a bit of a... You never know what to get by the looks of it. Look at it now, it's beautiful. There is lots of cars, so I think they have probably, it's Sunday. There's probably a service. There's a few people here. It's Sunday after all. Just had a lovely walk all the way up to the lighthouse, and this is Fisterra, and somewhere down there, just there behind that light coloured building, you can see our boat. It's still there in the old part of Fisterra. Sorry for the wind. This must be the busiest beach in Spain. Oh look, there's somebody there. This is the other side of Fisterra. The reality.
Hi, Mr. Frasen.
We're on the road again, but no wind again. We haven't been going anywhere because there has been basically either too much wind, or when we do go, there is no. We've been motoring for, in fact we've been motoring for exactly 2 hours.
Yeah.
And it's cold. Safely tucked away for anchor. Yvette's still in her sailing clothes. I'm already in shorts and t-shirt. The weather cleared up beautifully. Quite windy again, but such a glorious beach again. Magnificent. Look at that. Guess what?
We're not sailing, we're motoring
We're motoring.
to our last destination in Spain. Well,
Yep. Yep.
for Portugal.
Before Portugal, and no wind again.
No wind.
One of the memorable things about this trip is that we basically hardly ever sailed so far.
Yeah.
We've come all the way from Brest and we've motored more than sailed. Crazy, eh? Who would have thought?
Yeah.
But it's warm, it's getting finally warm. I feel like I'm overdressed. Nice island there.
Bayona, here we come.
On one of our walks again, obviously a little church. This is Bayona. Little streets everywhere again, different style houses, restaurants, bars, cafes, shops. We'll go that way. It's not bad. We see these everywhere. We haven't worked out what they are. Look like a bit of like a little mausoleum. It's a big fort actually. Yeah. And you can do the walk on the top as well. Go and check that out, eh? All the way down to the beach.
We're leaving Bayona at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. We're gonna do a night sail all the way to Porto. It's gonna be interesting and scary for me. See you in Porto!